Yeah.
You know what? We're going to talk about crazy fashion things that should have died a long time ago. Like Crocs are making a return. In fact, I said to Amir, there's got to be some crappy song about Crocs on the internet. And he found one. Listen.
Whoa.
Rock them Crocs. Hey. Rock them Crocs. Hey.
Oh, no.
Rock them Crocs. Hey.
Rock them Crocs. Yeah. I mean, you and I, neither of us have ever purchased Crocs, but they showed up on the red carpet at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Questlove was wearing them, and they are on fire. I mean, suddenly people are desperate to get their hands on Crocs in the pandemic.
I know. When I say Crocs, the first thing that might come to mind is this.
Oh, Crocky.
but no, it's not.
The
I'm
great
talking
Steve
about.
Irwin. Yeah,
That's right. It's the footwear. It's like you said. It's making a comeback. Lynda, here's KRS NBC News.
Crocky. Musical artist Questlove's Golden Crocs. Well, they're one of the fashion highlights of Sunday's Academy Awards, and it appears that the drummer is not the only one fond of the foam footwear. The often mocked shoes are in the midst of a serious comeback, and consumers are buying them like a hot commodity. One possible reason for the surge? Recent star-studded collaborations with names like Post Malone and Justin Bieber. On Tuesday, the company reported a 64% sell increase in the first quarter of this year alone.
And Dolly Parton couldn't make those shoes wonderful. They're hideous. And so I talked to the Lynda Steele show's one and only Fabulista, Randall MacDonald. And guess really quick if he's a fan or not, Lynda.
I know he's not a fan. I know he's not.
Yeah, we chatted about fashion trend comebacks and how maybe this Crocs fashion trend is because people are lacking creativity, locked down, hiding from COVID.
I know there is technically a medical term, COVID brain, which means the after effects of when you've had COVID. When I also think there is COVID brain from just COVID and being cooped up, and people have lost their sense of imagination. They've become incredibly lazy. Like everything seems like such a big effort now, to get dressed up and to go out. And, I'm actually working on a TV pilot right now, and it's about how do we get back to life? Like, how do we come out of this? Because it only takes 6 weeks for people to learn a new habit. Well, we're well over a year. So people's new habit is, I'm not grooming, I'm not dressing up, I'm not entertaining. So we have to relearn all the niceties of life.
To the fashion and the Crocs making a comeback, this is a thing that happens in fashion, is it not? It is quite cyclical, and things tend to make comebacks.
Well, see, my thing is, they were never a thing. They were never a thing. They were always wrong. If you look in Ecclesiastes in the Bible, it says, thou shalt not wear Crocs. It's always been wrong. Wrong. You're going right to hell. Do you know why there are holes in Crocs?
No, why?
Because that's where your dignity leaks out.
Oh, my goodness.
Seriously.
I really enjoy that distaste you have for Crocs. Okay, let's go to another, because we're talking about cyclical fashion stuff. What about wide leg pants and bowl cuts for men? They're making a comeback. Thoughts?
Yeah. Okay. So if you want to look like an Arkansas hillbilly, I totally recommend you do that and maybe knock out your two front teeth while you're at it. Plus, the other thing is, if you're carrying any LBs on you, those pants are going to make you look like two-ton Nelly. I'm sorry, ugly.
Really?
Ugly.
They add pounds, do they?
You're adding all this extra bulk and fabric, and people are going, is that you in there? The only people who can pull them off are sticks, and they're still ugly on sticks. Just because I've seen stuff on the runways, and I love fashion. Yeah. I've seen stuff on the runway, and I'm like, I don't know what drugs you were on when you designed that to put on the runway. That is ugly. Ugly.
What about leaving the house, and everybody's, like you said, we're kind of all laxed on the fashion. What about people leaving in their COVID clothes, like their sweatpants and sandals? Like, I went on my horrible sandals the other day, and even I was like, I'm wearing socks with sandals. I need to go inside. How's your feelings about this?
Well, you see, you're the person then that I get to drive by and splash with mud from my car because you obviously don't care about yourself. So why should I care about you? Like, you know.
Stop it! I want to be comfortable, Randall. I want to be comfortable. Can't I be comfortable in public?
Guess what? Huge news flash. They make comfortable shoes that aren't hideous. I know. It's a new thing.
Okay. Then let's end this on a positive note. What's some fashions that we should be looking out for that you do approve of that are making a comeback, perhaps?
Well, you know what? I'll be really honest. So one of the things that I think is going to be happening over the next, year, let's say, 2022 kind of thing. I don't think we're actually going to see much of a shift in fashion. I'll tell you why. Because fashion stopped on March 2020. And, nobody's buying clothes. Nobody's fashion per se. So I really think people just need to go back to what they loved wearing. And I think what people need to be doing is going, you know what? What is it that I put on that made me feel good? What excuse can I have for dressing up and accessorizing? I had a meeting yesterday and I was so excited about accessorizing my outfit and pulling out all the fun stuff that I haven't worn in a while. So I think that's what we're going to see. I'm hoping we see people try to make more of an effort than before just because you've been living in your pajamas for 18 months. How about now we actually spend some time taking care of ourselves like people used to?
Yeah.
You look at the street shots from the 40s and 50s, and oh my God, I'm like, that you were going grocery shopping. I have a random picture of my parents going to a movie in the 50s, and I'm like, holy crap, my dad's in a suit and a tie, and mom's in a dress and heels, and and I'm not saying that per se, but you know what? People cared about how they took pride in their appearance. And, I think that's what we need to get back to. And that's what I really want to encourage people to do. And I'm hoping I can inspire people to kind of get back to, some sort of beauty. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, as we speak right now, I am wearing a stained ripped t-shirt.
I was going to go there. I was going to ask you that. I bet you're wearing this sloppy, holy stuff that's just disgusting.
I have got the biggest hole under my armpit, and I'm wearing my boxer shorts. So if the postman comes to our door, this is what he's greeted with. But you know what? I have no one to offend but myself. And even sometimes I do offend myself. I walk past the mirror and I'm going, get some dignity. But, if you're going out in the street and somebody's handing you a buggy, you need to up your game.
Jeez.
Left to say after that.
Yeah. Randall is a peacock feather and, Venetian wig guy, so I doubt it. I bet you was lying that he had a hole in his T-shirt.